Hey everyone, it's Laura here from makingcardsisfun.com, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to create a pearlescent background with Tonic Nuvo Embellishment paste. So let's get started. So I'm starting out by adhering my piece of white Nina cardstock onto my craft mat with some washi tape, just to make sure that the paper stays put and that I can easily work with my stencil. I'm using a beautiful daisy stencil, and I'm just going to temporarily adhere that onto my craft mat, and then I'm going to use the embellishment paste from Tonic. So in total I am using 6 different colors. I'll be creating 2 different backgrounds. So the first color I'm using is Peony Pink, and at first I thought that it would be impossible to work with a stencil and this paste because the paste is just so thick. But once you start building it up, or when you just start spreading it and moving it around, it'll get easier to work with. So these are really smooth once you start to work with them. Then I am moving on to Coral Calypso, and I'm just applying that to my piece of paper with a spatula. Then for the third color, I'm using Lemon Sorbet, and this is my favorite color, I think, of all the colors that I got, because this is like a really soft pastel yellow color, but it also looks like a soft gold, so it's just this really beautiful combo between yellow and gold. So after applying all 3 colors, I'm just going to scrape off all excess to make sure that my surface is smooth. So I went ahead and created a second panel using 3 different colors. I used Spring Green, Aquamarine, and Lilac Lavender to create my second background. And just look at this beautiful pearlescent shimmer that you'll get when you use this paste. There are many different options to use this product, and I'll be sharing more in upcoming videos. So now that the paste is dry, I can go ahead and die cut a rectangle using a Spellbinders die cut set. This is the pierced rectangles die cut set from Spellbinders. So I die cut a rectangle, and then I'm using the pierced edge to create a piece border for this flower panel. Then I'm going to stamp one of the bunnies from the Honey Bunny Boo stamp set from Heffy Doodle. I'm stamping that with Memento Tuxedo black ink onto some Simon Says Stamp ultra heavyweight white cardstock. And then I'm just coloring this bunny like I did in one of my previous videos. So I'm using the colorless blender first, then I'm just using NO to add a tiny little bit of shading, and then I went back to the colorless blender to blend that out. Also adding a little bit of blush to those cheeks with the EOOOO marker. And then for the tail, I'm using N1 and NO, and then I'm also using the colorless blender to blend it all together. So after coloring these 2 bunnies, it's time to die cut them with the coordinating dies. Of course, you could also just fuzzy cut them with your scissors. I always like to kind of dress up my little critter images, so I stamped these little flowers from the same Honey Bunny Boo stamp set, and I'm coloring these with the Copic markers. So I used YG17 and YG23 for the leaves. Then for the yellow flowers, I'm using Y19 and Y13. Then for the pink, I'm using RV11 and RV14. And then for the blue flowers, I'm using BG11 and BG13. And then to color the flower center, or that little dot in the middle, I am just using V01 and V15. So there you go. So I also die cut these, and then it's time to create some sentiment banners for these cards. So I am using the Hello Greeting from the Honey Bunny Boo stamp set, and I'm stamping these, or I'm stamping this sentiment onto some basil cardstock. with my mini MISTI tool, and I'm using the Wow Ultra Sticky and Slow Drying ink pad and some opaque white embossing powder to heat emboss these sentiments. Then it's time to heat set this, and then once that's cooled off, I can use my Guillotine trimmer from Tonic to create a sentiment banner. So I just really love this trimmer because it always gives you really crisp and clean cuts, which I really like. Then I'm cutting a V-shaped banner with my EK Success Color Bee scissors, and then it's time to mount everything together and to really finish off the cards. I'm adhering the sentiment banners onto this white rectangle using foam adhesive, and I die cut these white rectangles using the same Spellbinders dies that I used earlier in the video. Then to adhere my bunny, I'm using a foam square, and I'm also using the Nuvo Deluxe craft glue to adhere it. Then to adhere the little flowers, I'm using a tiny little strip of foam adhesive. And I also wanted to add a little bit of extra color around these bunnies. So I'm stamping these butterflies from the Honey Bunny Boo stamp set using some ink pads from the ton. For this aquamarine color, I used Caribbean turquoise. Then for the green, I am using Soft Garden. And then for the soft purple shade, I'm using Orchid Crush. Then I'm also going to stamp some butterflies on the other panel that I did. So for this one, I'm using Lemon Drop ink, Hollywood Star, and then this color over here is Peach Blossom. So I used 3 colors that really match with the pearlescent backgrounds that I did using the embellishment paste. And finally, I'm adhering these bunny panels onto my flower panel with foam adhesive, and then I'm adhering that panel to a colored standard size card. I use some basil cardstock, and I'll be linking to that in my supply list. Then I'm going to add some shimmer and shine using Tonic's shimmer pen, and I'm also adding a layer of the Tonic crystal glaze to finish it all off. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure to check out my blog post for more information, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.